All signs point to this for the Los Angeles Dodgers as we have some major free agency updates on the top two left. And I tell you what, the Dodgers could not have planned this market any better. We tell you why here today on the show. Welcome to Dodgers Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hopefully you had a Merry Christmas yesterday, or if you're not celebrating, hope you have a happy holidays with your family and friends. We want to say thank you for making us a part of your day as well. Now, before we get going, I want to invite you to subscribe today, as our goal is to try and get to 13,000 subscribers by the start of 2026. Yes, it's a very lofty goal, but I know Dodgers Nation has got my back, and we like to think we have some of the best Dodgers content on YouTube. So if you are in the market for daily Dodgers uploads, we got you covered with some shorts, some videos just like this, and maybe some more live streams in 2026 as well. So go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free, and it's truly the best way to support this channel. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers. Why don't we? There's a lot of free agents still left on the market, but we all know for the Dodgers, there's quote-unquote a big three, and it's the guy in the middle, the guy on the left, and on the right. Bichette, Kyle Tucker, and Cody Bellinger. Those are the three guys that, in my opinion, the Dodgers still have high hopes of getting, and the potential is there for them to actually acquire each one of those three. However, we've got some major updates on at least one of those guys, and I've got a couple takes as well for you to talk about what my plans are for the best choice for Andrew Freeman and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, to me, let's start off with this. Bichette and Kyle Tucker are the top two options. And in my opinion, the way this market / a lot of media members agree with this, the way this market is looking, every day that passes just is more in the Dodgers' favor to land one of either Kyle Tucker or Bichette, or potentially both of them. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But let's continue on and kind of talk with really the first biggest thing is, what's the bigger need for them? Is Kyle Tucker the bigger need, or is Bichette the bigger need? Now, Kyle Tucker played very good last year, and he did this through injury from June on. 377 on base in 500 at-bats. He had only 88 strikeouts, 22 homers, and 73 RBI. This is all well and good, but Bichette, what he did in the World Series really sparked a lot of people's interest. 582 at-bats this season with 40 walks, 94 RBI, 18 homers, and 91 strikeouts. In terms of position-wise, Kyle Tucker is the most needed position in outfield. We know this season, or rather this offseason, the Los Angeles Dodgers were focusing on two things. That was getting the bullpen to a better spot and getting the outfield to a better spot. They've done the bullpen part by signing Edwin Diaz, the best closer on the market. The best outfielder on the market is Kyle Tucker. Now, Cody Bellinger is still an option. I'm not saying he's not, but Kyle Tucker seems to be the way that the Dodgers are looking, specifically because Bellinger, I think more than likely he returns to the Yankees with what they're offering and what I'm kind of seeing. So we look at the infielders and say, well, Max Muncy can handle third, at least for this year. And you like Freddie Freeman at first, not really a worry there. Mookie Betts is at short and was one of the better defensive shortstops last year. Tommy Edman is a good second baseman. Not a great. And I mean that not because of his defense, but because of his overall play. I don't think he's what the Dodgers would like to have in some aspects. And he's also a guy who can play at multiple positions, including the outfield, center field, and he's also probably not going to be ready for the start of the season for the Los Angeles Dodgers due to injury. And so we got some new updates today from a couple of different sources. Let's start first with John Morosi of MLB Network, who said this, quote, "Can confirm that Bichette has received interest from multiple teams who view him as a second baseman or third baseman due to the presence of an established shortstop on those rosters. Further evidence that the World Series augmented his value in the marketplace," end quote. This, of course, would immediately lead me to believe that the Dodgers are in that mix of teams because they have an established shortstop. And we can move Mookie Betts to the outfield. That's fine. But I think at this point in his career, you stick him at shortstop. He was fantastic there. Let him play at shortstop. There's no reason to go twisting and toying with his things or his position even more. Now, the big thing, of course, with Bichette is he looking for years? Is he looking for AAV? Of course, that question is true for both Bichette and Kyle Tucker. That's where we go to the next report of CBS Sports' RJ Anderson, who says this is the exact same thing. "The key question facing Bichette's free agency is how teams will view him positionally. If a club is willing to stomach his shortstop defense, then the comparison to Willy Adames' agreement with the Giants, 7 years at $182 million, is a good reference point. I'm going to assume that will be the case, at least in the short term. I'll add in some extra coin because of Bichette's age advantage and inflation. 7 years, $189 million, $27 million in AAV, end quote. Okay, so a lot of these predictions are talking about Bo Bichette trying to get this high value. Remember at the start of the show, I said they couldn't have planned this any better. Well, here's where that comes around, because the market right now is very quiet and very weird this season as opposed to prior years. Why is that? It's because there's a new player agreement coming in next season, and teams I don't think are scared to spend money, but they understand that in 2027, most likely there will not be a baseball play, at least for a good while. It may happen at the end of the season. They may play a half season, but I truly do think there's going to be a lockout, and it might last longer than the prior one, meaning we couldn't have baseball to potentially June, maybe even July. I still think they'll play, but it's a little bit pressing for teams to maybe not want to spend that money right away. So guess what? What are becoming a lot more popular? Small contracts, high AAV. Guess what team can do that? The Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, we've talked about Tucker with that, but Sportsnaut's Austin Konecki kind of ties in Bo Bichette with it as well. The Los Angeles Dodgers would make sense for Bichette if he ends up with a short-term deal with a high AAV. Los Angeles doesn't have a strong everyday option at second base, so Bichette's willingness to move positions could open the door for a partnership. If so, the free agent infielder could join the team that beat him in the 2025 World Series, end quote. So, of course, the question, if they are now both looking at short-term, high AAV deals, Tucker and Bichette, then who is the guy you would want more? Is there somebody that is preference for you, / would you want to keep one longer and one to keep one shorter? I know we might be playing greedy, but at the same time, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's kind of their MO. That's what the question is today, though. Would you rather get Kyle Tucker or Bo Bichette? Let's say you can't get both. One is the option. If you'd like to get T for Tucker, then type T. If you'd like to get B for Bichette, then type B in the comment section. I'm going to know your thoughts today. Play Andrew Freeman, play the GM. Would you rather get Kyle Tucker or Bo Bichette? T for Tucker, B for Bichette in the comment section. To me, Tucker fits the best in terms of the positionality of him. Using him in the outfield obviously makes sense, but I'm not going to lie when I think Bichette intrigues me more. And I can't exactly put my finger on why besides one key point. And what's funny is he doesn't even have the better stat in that. I just feel like he is more of a base guy. He gets on base is what I'm saying. What's funny is that the on-base percentage is in favor of Kyle Tucker last year, and he only struck out 88 times. But what Bichette did in the World Series, what Bichette was able to do in the big moments is a big thing to me. And Kyle Tucker is fantastic. And if they get him, obviously, I'm not going to be upset. But I think that Bichette is the go-to guy. I just like the way he plays more. I think that it doesn't really matter in terms of positional value, just because I understand the whole thing with outfielders. But at the same time, Teoscar's going to play right. Andy Pa has, yes, had a horrible postseason. We're not going to shy away from that. But he was a great fielder and had a good regular season. I think that Ryan Ward could obviously come up and play a lot better than we think. And at the same time, if you get Bichette, you can move Tommy M into the outfield, put him in center. Then you have a better defensive outfield as well. Put Pages in left or right, whichever you want to do. Move Teoscar to left. It just seems to make sense for me. Now, ultimately, it's what Andrew Friedman decides and what happens with this market. Because if it stays high AAV, low years, the Dodgers are in on both these guys. But if any team decides we're going to give you a lot of money in a lot of years, probably going to push the Dodgers out because they're looking short-term to try and get that three-peat / potentially go for more in the future short-term years rather than long-term. Let me know all your thoughts on this on the comments section below. Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, what do you think is going to happen? What would you like to happen? I want all your thoughts. We'll see you next time, though, here on the show, and we appreciate you. Have a good day. Appreciate it.